Just a few kettlebells, 30 minutes, and a little bit of grit is all you need for this kettlebell conditioning workout. Let's talk about it. All right, so here's what we've got on the menu for today. Now, real quick, this is a conditioning workout taken directly from my program, Project Bellplex. So if you see it and you like it, or you try it and you like it, then feel free to click the link in the description below so you can do more just like this and join us today. So our format for this one is going to be a very popular format that I like to use, and that is 3 10-minute AMRAPs. So if you're unfamiliar with AMRAPs, it just stands for as many rounds as possible in this case, it's 10 minutes or whatever amount of time is written after it. So this is a very simple way to structure conditioning workouts because it allows everybody to just go at their own pace. So the way this is going to work is there's going to be a couple exercises written underneath here. You will run through those exercises continuously as many times as you can in 10 minutes. You'll then rest a little bit and go into the next one, rest a little bit and go into the next one. Pretty straightforward, and everybody gets to move at their own pace. So our first 10-minute AMRAP is going to be very straightforward and is kind of designed to just kind of get things moving a little bit. So you're gonna have 2 exercises. The first one is gonna be 10 kettlebell halos in each direction, so 10 on each side, and then you're gonna go into 40 seconds of cardio. Now, cardio can be a bunch of different things. You can run, you can row, you can bike, ski. If you don't have any of that stuff, you can just do jumping jacks. If you're crazy, you can do burpees, or you can always just kind of do like a little boxer's bounce in place. So you're gonna go 10 per side halos, right into 40 seconds of cardio, back to your halos, back to your cardio, and keep bouncing back and forth between the 2 of those for 10 minutes. Now, here is what I want your kettlebell halos to look like. So for our kettlebell halos, they are very simple and straightforward. You're gonna grab your kettlebell upside down by the horns right here. From there, you're just going to get the kettlebell off to either side, doesn't matter which one you start on, dump it up and over your shoulder, drop it behind your back, and then bring it back to center on the other side. We're gonna alternate. So that's 1, 1, 2, and 2. Really trying to open up our lats and shoulders here and get our upper body a little warmed up. The main thing I want you to focus on is that when this kettlebell goes behind you, it should drop behind your head. So right now you cannot see the kettlebell. It disappears behind my head and then I bring it back. We're not just twirling the kettlebell and making a halo circle around our head. So keep that in mind with your halos. And if you have a mace or a club and you would like to substitute in 360s for your halos, you're more than welcome to do so. Now, after you do that first 10-minute AMRAP, you're gonna rest about 2 to 3 minutes before getting started on your second 10-minute AMRAP, which is going to be 10 two-handed cleans with your kettlebell, followed by 15 sit-ups. Very simple and straightforward here. I always try and do that for the most part on conditioning days. I don't want you thinking too much or having too high technique exercises for the most part, because I want you to be able to consistently move and not have to necessarily think about your technique a lot. Now, with that being said, even though these are fairly straightforward, there are a couple of things I want you to keep in mind for both of these exercises. Let's talk about it. All right, our two-handed cleans. You're gonna get set up with this kettlebell right between your feet. The handle of the kettlebell should be lined up with where your shoelaces are tied if you are wearing shoes. From there, we're gonna push our butt back and grab the kettlebell with 2 hands. Butt down, chest up. From here, I'm going to extend up aggressively using my legs, catch this kettlebell in this goblet hold position, and then reverse it back down. Tap the ground, extend up, back down, and up. Nice and simple exercise. Really make sure you're using those legs, especially as you're probably moving a little quickly throughout this workout to get that conditioning response by jacking your heart rate up. So make sure you're not just bending, we are pushing the butt back, using our legs to extend up for this exercise. All right, our sit-ups are nice and simple on this one. All I'm looking for is for your shoulders to touch the ground. Come on up and touch your feet. Back down, shoulders touch the ground. Come on up, touch your feet. If you want, you can squeeze this kettlebell with your feet for a little bit of an anchor. You can do this with your legs straight. Your knees can be bent, or you can do it in this butterfly position that I like. If you need a little assistance with your hands, I am totally okay with that because I want you to continuously move and keep moving throughout this 10 minutes. Now, after you finish that second 10-minute AMRAP, you are again going to rest 2 to 3 minutes before heading into your third and final 10-minute AMRAP, which in this case is going to be 8 per arm, single arm kettlebell swings, followed by 10 to 20 push-ups. Now, like I said, I like to keep the exercises fairly straightforward. So if single arm swings are something that you are not that comfortable doing, then that is fine. You can just do 16 regular kettlebell swings. And then our 10 to 20 push-ups, I throw that range number in there because everybody's going to be a little different. 10 push-ups might be really hard for me and 20 might be a little easy for you. So you're gonna have a little range there, you're gonna pick your number, and as you start to get tired, this number might start to get a little bit lower, and that is okay. And I want you to do a number or pick a variation of push-ups that's going to keep you moving, all right? So real quick though, let's talk about our single arm swings and our push-ups. All right, our single arm swings are probably the most technical exercise that we've got in this one, but if you are comfortable doing two-handed swings, for the most part, you should be able to do a single arm swing. So we're gonna start with this kettlebell out in front of us, push our butt back, grab it with one hand and tilt it back to us. From here, we're going to hike and extend up just to chest height, making sure we are aggressively squeezing our butt and straightening our legs. So we don't wanna be leaning back, we're gonna squeeze our butt, flex our quads, and get our head up to the ceiling. Now, the other thing I really want you to focus on when doing these single arm swings is it's not just the hand holding the kettlebell that's working. So as my left hand that's holding the kettlebell goes back and through my legs, my right hand goes as well. And as I stand up, this right hand is coming with me, and I'm going to take my right hand, in this case, to my left shoulder, little pledge of allegiance for my Americans out there. For my non-Americans, just take your right hand or your hand and bring it to the opposite shoulder. So it should be looking like this. Back, both come forward, back, both come forward, nice and aggressive with the legs and letting that other hand help us and keep us in rhythm. All right, last but not least is our push-ups. Now, the main thing I want you to focus on with these push-ups is that when you are doing them, your hips do not touch the ground at all. That is taking any sort of core activation out of it. So do less reps and keep your hips off the ground if you need to. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but if you need to, you can get your knees to the ground as well. And you can do your push-ups like that. But even with your knees on the ground, the hips do not touch the ground. If you need to mix and match and use some sort of variation of some push-ups with your knees off of the ground and some with your knees on the ground, that is okay. And if you need to change the type of push-up you're doing halfway through your 10-minute AMRAP, that is also okay. I want you to challenge yourself with the push-ups, but they shouldn't be slowing you down dramatically. So you have a few different ways that you can make sure you're consistently moving with your push-ups by either changing the reps, which is why we have that range in there, or change the variation of push-up that you're doing. But regardless, keep those hips off the ground, squeeze the abs nice and tight, and get some good core activation in your push-ups. And that right there, guys, is a nice, simple, and straightforward full body conditioning workout that you can do with just a few kettlebells and 30 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you like this one, you're definitely gonna like this workout. I'll see you there.